everybody, Main Brew Guy. Yes, I am back. Oh, not permanently. I'm in a transitional period, but Tasting Nich has put out a FABQ, frequently asked beer questions, and it kind of drug me out of the closet. I've been very busy. I've sold my house. Yes, I sold my house with that awesome bar that I built. I'm drinking today a Stone Ripper. Anyway, it's gorgeous beer. Gotta get the list. The list of questions. How did you get into beer geeking and why? Oh boy. All right, so I get a Mr. Beer kit, like a lot of people did around here in the U.S., I should say. I got one for Christmas because I said one time, somebody said to me, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm about brewing beer. And so, lo and behold, I got a beer kit. What year was it? Christmas of 2006. Good beer, by the way. Christmas 2006. Didn't actually brew it until probably February. I brewed my first Mr. Beer kit, which was powdered DME and some pellets. I'd gotten my orders for Iraq. It was in the Army. I'm still in the Army Reserves. I was in the Army Reserves at the time. So I got my first tour, my orders for Iraq. So I knew I was going. I had to leave. May 5th, and I thought, well, I'm going to brew this and see how it comes out. So I brewed the beer, and the first time I actually popped the cap, actually it was twist the cap. I got that. I'm like, holy shit, it's carbonated. Sounds like a beer. Oh, my questions. God, it's kind of windy. Apologize. So. I drank it and I was like, you know what? This tastes like beer. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. So I drank it and I finished all the beers before I left for Iraq. When I got to Iraq, I picked up a book by Charlie Papazian. You all might know that one. I also picked up Extreme Brewing from Sam from Dogfish Head. There was another book, I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sorry, the author, but it was, actually I probably can't even remember the name, but it has to do with brewing equipment and how to make your own brewing equipment, how to improvise. So I spent many a days sitting up in the 50 cal turret, just kind of reading books while we were stopped at certain FOBs, which are fixed operation bases. And rather than going in and coming back and setting up the weapon, I just sat there in the turret on my sling and read books. And I read a lot, over and over. And I said when I came back from Iraq, I was going to start brewing, which I did. So, yeah. I brewed on the stove like everybody, well, not like everybody else. Some people start with right off with all grain. I started on the stove. I did some steeping grains and extract, and then moved over to all grain. But I didn't move over to all grain until my second tour in Iraq. So when I got my second tour in Iraq, I read more. I started doing some design projects, and I designed my own rim system, which I sourced out all the parts. I looked for the cheapest vendor, sourced out all the parts, and I actually ordered them from Iraq and had them shipped directly to my home. So when I got home from Iraq, all the parts were sitting there in my garage waiting for me to put together the system that you all see me brew on. And here we are. Okay, what is your favorite beer? That's a tough one. There's been a lot of favorite beers. It comes and goes. But, the one that keeps coming back, that I revisit and I say, you know what, this is so good. It's and this is going to sound so self-serving, but it's Allagash Curio from, you know, Allagash Brewing. Of course, I'm from Maine, so yeah, that's a little self-serving, but it really is my favorite beer. 3. If you could have a beer forever, what would it be? Huh. Oh, that's a shitty question. I'm sorry, Tasting Nich. That whoever asked you that question should be flogged. That's a tough one, because you get sick of any style after a while. IPAs used to be my favorite beer. I'm drinking an IPA now. You come back to it, but if you had to drink that all the time, it would no longer be your favorite beer. I would have to say my favorite style are Belgians. Really close to Saisons, but Belgians are pretty much my favorite style. I'm going to go with style. Okay. Forever, and what would it be? Yeah, I would have to say Belgians, because you can get a wide range of yeast flavors out of Belgians, I think. Even though the Belgian flavor is kind of, you know it when you're drinking a Belgian, there's a huge left and right limit on that. All right, so number 4. How can you drink this much and stay so healthy and so thin? You know, that's a simple question, and nobody wants to hear the answer, because the answer is moderation, 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 and exercise. Anything you do in life, it's moderation. Those of you who run marathons all the time, you're gonna have worn out knees, worn out ankles, and worn out hips by the time you're 50. That's no bueno. All right, drinking too much, well, you're gonna pickle your liver for one, and you're probably gonna gain a lot of weight. No bueno. All right, if you eat a lot, and you're going to be fat, you're going to get diabetes type 2, and you're probably going to torch your kidneys, have neuropathy. All right, so are you an alcoholic? No. I work in an ER, and I see alcoholics come in all the time. Alcoholics, that's a whole nother subject, and Tasting Nich said she wants to talk about it. I could really provide a lot of intel on alcoholics and what I've seen over my years in the ER dealing with alcoholics coming in. Alcoholism is a predisposed condition. Now, is it genetics? Yes, it is. Absolutely genetic. Can you have the genetic marker and not be an alcoholic? Yeah, but you have to be very careful. If you have the genetic marker, which hasn't been identified, by the way, at least not that I know of, and you have drank too much and you have caused your body to become very used to alcohol, then you are identified as an alcoholic. Can I be an alcoholic without the genetic marker? I don't think so. I really don't. I think that you can put yourself in a position where you need to be detoxed, but you can certainly come away from alcohol and not have the addictive kind of cravings that you do when you have that genetic marker. All right, so I'm not going to beat that horse to death. So no, I am not an alcoholic, and I don't think I could be. All right, what's your favorite beer ingredient? I've watched a lot of your videos, and I'm going to say that everybody's going to say the same answer as me, and it is definitely yeast. Why is it yeast? Well, pretty much for all the same reasons why everybody else said it's yeast. Because it changes. You can take the same recipe and make so many different beer styles, and the only thing you have to change is the yeast. You might have to moderate the hops, but really the yeast dictates the style. So it's going to, as you said, Tasting Nich, it is the yeast, and I agree, it is the yeast. Do you brew? Yes, I do. That was established in the first question. All right, number 8. Oh, excuse me, number 8. What was your first beer? Oh Christ, I don't even know how old I was, but it was my grandfather's beer. And it was a Knickerbocker. Probably not too many people know about Knickerbocker, but it used to come in the same brown bottles we bottle in now. And they were pry-offs, just like we use now. I had to be pretty young, I think maybe 8. And I thought it was disgusting. Next from there was, when I was a teenager, it was Valentine XXX. Yeah. Oh boy, many a night's vomiting on that stuff. Okay, number 9. All right, who in the beer world do you look up to? Well, initially it was Charlie Papazian, Sam from Dogfish, Rob Todd from Allagash. But lately it's really been my fellow brewers. I know it's going to sound really like, but it really is my fellow brewers. I mean, look at Tony Yates. I mean, he started really after I did, but I mean, look where he's developed into. But I mean, look at Paul Wicksteve when he started. I mean, look at how quickly he advanced and how passionate he was about brewing beer. I look up to them because they can take something and then so own it, and so passionate about it, and so in depth about it, that they can make me aspire to be like that. I consider myself a jack of all trades, master of none. I can do a lot of things, but probably not like the greatest at everything or anything. But I'm pretty good at some things, and I do think that brewing beer I'm pretty good at. I don't brew enough of it though. Anyway, Tasting Nich, it's good. This kind of thing has come around before, and it's always good to have it come around again. And with this brewing community being so robust as it is now, it was a good time to have it happen again. So good call, cheers, and keep it coming. Oh, I got to name 5, don't I? 5. Oh crap. All right, I'm going to name my 5. Big Banana, Bobby Meyer, BH Brewing, Harry Brew 69. Some of these guys probably already get called out. The last 2 because they've gone pro. So Harry Brew 69 has gone pro, and Jake CPU Nut. You were one of my first brewers that I watched. You and Arrogant Bastard Ale, Dan ABA. And matter of fact, Dan ABA was my first subscriber. So Jake CPU Nut has gone pro for many years now. So if I can draw him out of the closet and post a video, that would be awesome. Cheers.